Hey guys, in this video I wanted to update you all about a recent trip that I made back to Trinidad and Tobago in October of 2019. Now, generally speaking, when it comes to my trips to Trinidad, I only go once a year. It's a far way, it's not a cheap trip. It does cost me a bit of money to get out there. And I try to spend, at least 10 days to 2 weeks out there seeing family and friends. But there was a bit of a story as to why I went out in October, and I only went for 5 days. And I mean, that's a long way to go and quite an expensive trip just for 5 days. But it had to do with the fact that there was this dear friend of mine, a brother that I haven't really been in contact with for almost 20 years. He and I went to Queen's Royal College together. We were all into the martial arts. We were hanging out together. Um, but as what ends up happening, he moved off to Canada, and there was a girl that kind of came between the two of us, and we just kind of drifted apart as a result of all of that. We've been in contact with each other on social media, but no real banter, no real communication and stuff like that until recently. He reached out to me recently, and really we buried the hatchet, and we really kind of opened up to each other, like, yeah, we haven't seen each other, we got to reconnect, we got to hang out, we got to lime, we need to be involved in each other's lives, kind of thing. And it was very emotional and very 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 healing, for me, and I believe for him also. And in the course of the conversation, he's like, yeah, we got to get together somehow. So I thought about, okay, well, maybe I could fly out to where he is in Canada. Maybe he could come to the UK and stuff like that. And in the course of that conversation, he mentioned that he was going down to Trinidad in October for 20 days. He had some family errands. He'd gotten some time off, and he was going to be there for 20 days. And I looked at it, and I kind of thought to myself, well, if I could put the entire trip together for less than £1,000, I'll do it. If I could find a flight, accommodations, and the spending money, the car rental, everything, and I could do it all for less than £1,000, I was game to do that. And I did. I managed to find a very good flight with BA coming out of Gatwick for, I think, 470 something pounds. It was just under £500. Fantastic Airbnb in Woodbrook. I'll actually put links to that below. Very fantastic place. It was a studio apartment, ideal for me. I don't have any big set of luggage. I'm not staying for any length of time. I just need a place to crash, really. Very affordable, nice location, although there was a neighbor who was constantly playing a radio station loud enough for the neighbors to hear it. But it didn't bother me. I'm fine with that. Air conditioned place with washer dryer and all the good stuff. And so yeah, I put that whole package together, and I flew down there for 5 days. And that first night, I stayed up for, I assume, 36 hours from the time I got up, got to the airport, did all my check-in and everything like that, landed in Trinidad. I lost 5 hours, I believe. And I did not get to bed until wee hours the next morning in Trinidad. I stayed up just to meet with my friend. He'd gone off to surprise another friend who didn't know he was there. And then all of them jumped in a car, and they came and they met me at another, a friend's house. And it was just a big love fest. It was just like, reconnecting and sharing the old stories, talking about how all of us were Eskimo brothers. For those of you who don't know, Eskimo brothers are men who sleep with the same girl. They're Eskimo brothers, right? That's a phrase. And we were kind of, just having the banter and having some good shots and drinks. And I'm not a smoker. Some of them were smoking, and they had some questions for me about, my activities out here, what's going on with my family and stuff like that. Pretty much all my friends in that contemporary are married or divorced, all have kids, except maybe a handful of them do not. But it was very good to meet their wives, kids, and just hear some of the amazing stories. And it really was like, it was just yesterday kind of moments. So I was really, really glad for that. The next night I went out. We were all supposed to meet up at the pub house in Arapita Avenue. Again, anybody follow me on Instagram, you will see pictures of me with the crew. There were basically two rotations. There was a first shift and then a second shift of friends. The first crew came in. I even met some guys from the Trinidad and Tobago rock community that was out there. And, guys I used to hang out with at the rock concerts and stuff like that. Also from Canada, ironically. A couple of them were out there, got to meet with them. We had a blast. We had just had, it was absolute pandemonium. The music was good, hearing the stories, We picked up like we were back in secondary school, like nothing had happened, and a couple of the girls came out. It was really really great. Again, yeah, you could follow a lot of that stuff on Instagram. And the rest of the days I did some family stuff. I got some very close family to me out there that's getting older. Some of them are suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's and other things. And I know I don't have a lot of time left with them in that respect. So I really cherish when I get to, spend some time with them. And it's getting more and more emotional and more draining to go out there and kind of see a bit of the deterioration. But I'm always thankful. I'm always thankful for the time that I get with them. And I managed to reconnect with them, got to see a lot of family, a lot of friends that I hadn't seen in a long time. Got to indulge in a lot of delicacies, roti, doubles, ginseng up. I even tried the Caribe, which is the Trinidad equivalent to a cider. I really got into the ciders out here in the UK, and I think, I don't know how it's pronounced, if it's not Carib, but it's Caribe, and they have different flavors. I like the original. It was smooth, it wasn't too heavy. I had some pretty heavy nights of drinking. So when I wanted to take it light, I would have the cider. And I got invited to all kind of breakfast meetings, lunch, dinners, just absolute chaos. And I think in the entire 5 days, I must have ran on maybe 10 hours of sleep. But I got it done. I survived. I did the entire trip, and I left on the Sunday. It was so crazy that I thought I lost a pair of glasses. Not these glasses. I have a traveling pair of glasses, and somewhere along the line, I missed it. I couldn't find it. And I was like, well, I got this pair that I could still use. And I was literally on my way to the airport at a T-junction on Ryson Road. I could go left heading towards Piarco, and I could go right heading back to Goodwood Park, where my friend had his last pool party. It's a guy's house we used to hang out with many years ago when we were teenagers, and I just forgot them there. So he sends me a message and he says, yeah, his family is at the house. I could go and pick it up. So U-turn, go pick up the glasses. Very grateful to have that. I spent some good money changing the lenses on those recently. Didn't really want to lose them. And I flew out. And I have to say I'm very grateful to everybody who came out, everybody who came and spent time with me. Even if there were a lot of meetings that I had that didn't take place, a lot of people I was supposed to meet that, the circumstances just fall apart. They got to work late. I couldn't make it and stuff like that. But it was really, really good. So, yeah, anybody's interested, you can follow up on, my Facebook, on my Instagram. Some people rumored even on Pornhub. No, I'm just kidding about the Pornhub. But yeah, you could follow along on that journey. If you look back in October, you will see all of the pictures. October 2019, you will see all of the pictures and stuff like that from that excursion. So with that said, I wanted to put something out. I know I have a lot of Trinidadians who are following me. They don't always know when I'm coming out. I do that for security reasons, because not everybody's a fan. If you read some of the comments, some people are wishing me ill, wishing that I never come back to the country, etc. But yeah, through the DMs and stuff, people have been able to connect with me. Even some guys in the US and other places, they found out I was there. They came in the day before. We were hoping to meet up. The day I was leaving, it didn't quite work out. But yeah, I will probably be back next year. So the adventure continues. But I know you guys like hearing about these trips out there, so that was definitely a memorable one, and very glad to have my friend back in my life. And I look forward to many adventures with him, and hopefully you guys will hear some of those crazy stories. So guys, yeah, that's my video. As always, be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you'd like to see more. If you have stories about being in Trinidad and Tobago, put your comments below. We can always have the conversation. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Take care.